position I've ever experienced. And I've driven a Bentley before. Okay, all right. Let's do the news reviews brought to you by Interplus. Wherever you are, they make sure water reaches you even in space. And First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. So, what do we not know about First Atlantic Bank? Not much. But of course, we know they've introduced a set of mobile banking apps and a short code, *442# for banking transactions. So you can download the First Atlantic Ghana mobile app from the Google Play Store or iOS Store. You can dial *442# for all of your mobile money transactions, instant fund transfers. You can pay bills with it as well. And you can purchase airtime or data from Airtel, MTN, Glo, and Vodafone, among others. Welcome to the Purple Experience on mobile. It's safe, it's secure, it's very simple to use. It's First Atlantic Bank, refreshingly different. So how are we?
We're very well.
We're doing well.
All right,
another day.
Mm-hmm.
We're keeping hope alive, being strong.
Yeah,
it's not exactly a very easy time for all of us.
That's true.
With everything that's going on, but we're hopeful. God day, so we day.
Exactly.
Yes, but should I just go straight into the headline?
Why not?
Okay, on the front page of the Finder, perhaps some good news, Kojo. Boost for COVID-19 treatment. Severely ill patients to be treated with convalescent plasma from recovered patients. The blood service is waiting for funds to acquire consumables to start.
Right.
We'll be speaking to Dr. Justina Ansah. She's the CEO of the National Blood Service. As soon as we're done with all of this.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay, disregard NDC's distortion of facts agenda, and that's Kojo Opon Krumah speaking yesterday at the press conference in response to the NDC's press conference, and he called for a debate, and the debate we will give. And so this morning we're expecting, yes.
We're going to have the NDC. We're expecting the NPP to join us for this debate.
Yes.
Because, it's necessary, isn't it?
It's a game of numbers. Tertiary schools in Accra gear up for post-COVID-19 reopening. Health Ministry gets clearance to employ 8,073 health professionals.
All right, so let's get to Galatians 5 verse 15. It says, but if you bite and devour one another, watch out that you're not consumed by one another.
Hey.
So the splash says, Sayu NACOP threatens to sue customs over Aplau cocaine. That's a chronicle for you.
I was actually expecting the NPP NDC headline, but this is good. This is good as well.
Good as well. But it says, stop the lies and propaganda, government tells NDC. There's a front page comment, why final year students must be in school, and land guard activities overwhelm pram please. Back page, I want to finish my career at Real Madrid, that's according to Luka Modric, and Man United has lost its appeal, according to Dietmar Hammer, and Djokovic breaks down in tears at his own charity tournament in Belgrade.
On the front page of the Daily Guide, 1,729 schools in 3 Brunei regions disinfected. Napo hits back at Mahama over varsity bill. Volkswagen assembles first car in Ghana. Number 1 sparks outrage over 9.6 million Ghana cedi payments, and Yahya yells apologize Yaya yells apologize for weak comments. Liverpool to celebrate title if so that's still still unsure.
Well, that's for the title to win. Now that the league will start to win. Right?
And Kennedy Japan tackles journalist.
It's his birthday today, by the way, Kennedy Japan.
Oh, okay, well, happy birthday.
Happy birthday to Kennedy Japan. Yeah, he doesn't look it, you know.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah,
happy birthday.
Well, happy 60th to you. He says when he goes to sleep, there's only 2 things he dreams about.
Yes.
Money and fighting.
Indeed.
but when pushed, he says he'll choose money over fighting.
Over fighting.
He has to choose one. He'll choose money over fighting.
But he doesn't have to choose, you see. That's why we get both.
Yeah. But if he has to choose one, he chooses money. But the New Crusading Guide says arrest number 1, men's gold customers demand, and CID investigates Republic Bank's board chair. Kuyapim South NPP primary smear campaign against Oforija launched, but delegates offer unflinching support. And we're still marrying Volta region. That's according to the Keta MC. You know, the president said he was prepared to marry the Volta region and make it a long-lasting marriage when he won and went to the Volta Regional House of Chiefs. So he says they're still marrying the voter.
Okay.
See, there's a very disturbing headline on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. So the Central Region has recorded 3,198 teenage pregnancies within 5 months.
Yeah.
And according to Ghana Health Service, drivers, farmers, and teachers continue to be the group of men who are impregnating the teens. So it's very disturbing, especially all of them, but especially teachers, who are in positions of power.
Shall we spend some time on this later this week?
Yes.
Let's pick a day, all right, and talk about this, because it's yet another example of a solvable problem in which the victims are children, and our nation has failed to prioritize the solution.
Yes, love that, Kojo. So we'll definitely do that. Amakwata inspects road projects in the Upper West region. On the front page, some more good news. Search for cure for COVID-19. Noguchi poised to develop vaccine. I don't know what poised to develop. To develop.
They are ready to develop it.
Okay, they should just start already.
No. They are poised.
The poising comes before the.
That's
like right. On your marks.
First you poise, then you develop.
Right, okay. 1,729 basic schools in Bono East and Ahafo regions undergo disinfection. NPP fulfills 14% of their 2016 manifesto promises. That's according to NDC. But MPP rubbishes claim the numbers that are flying about. I can't wait for that debate.
Yeah.
I cannot wait for that debate. And government gives clearance for recruitment of 8,000 nurses.
Well, we certainly can't wait for that debate. But the NPP says they promised 388 projects. That's according to Vice President Babia. They have delivered 114 of them. They are delivering 189. So, Kojo, if you look at it critically, 114 over 388 times 100 is 29%.
But they are delivering, and you didn't add delivering.
This morning I was checking something. Aspect in English grammar.
Yeah.
It is whether an action is completed or not. So, for instance, if I say I am eating, it means I'm in the process. When I say I have eaten, it means I have finished eating.
Yes.
We have delivered and we are delivering are not the same.
But if you promise to eat and you are eating,
it doesn't mean you are eating.
Are you not eating?
It doesn't mean you are eating.
Not happening.
Eating too.
And you have eaten some. Just
no.
All.
No. So it means that you haven't finished eating. So the French do it nice.
So you can't say you have delivered
when you have not finished. When you have not delivered.
The French say what?
Action accompli ou action non accompli. Action completed or action not completed. That is l'aspect in French. It's simple. So, we'll get into that.
This morning show.
Tout in case to go for take come confused.
Stop that.
Bye. Anyway,
so let me get into the daily statement because this morning Kudjoto Blackwire and we'll be here. The NPP will also be here. NDC manifesto propaganda fails as government exposes lies on fulfilled promises. 8,000 health professionals to get employed and over 10.2 million Ghanaians within voting age to get Ghana card. And you can't buy your subjects from national exercise. Chief cautions colleagues.
Right then.
But let me just do the final one, the daily graphic that says academic work begins in tertiary institutions and NIA starts mop-up registration Thursday. Domestic airlines make progress after easing of restrictions. And ahead of voters registration exercise, 6 ready, 3 oppose, 1 undecided. So 6 parties ready, 3 oppose it, 1 undecided. Back page, registrants frustrated on first day of Ghana card issuance, and Men's Gold customers call for NAM1's head.
I've got a few online stories here on the online review brought to you by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy. Now, to the customers of Goyle, you're assured that their service stations are safe, they welcome you, and they encourage you to continue practicing all of the protocols to combat COVID-19. So, use alcohol-based hand sanitizers if you're not in a position to wash your hands. Cover your mouth with tissue when you cough, and dispose of it in the bin immediately. And wash your hands with soap under running water. It's also been provided, and of course, make sure you maintain a minimum of 1.5 meters between you and other customers and attendants. And ensure you wear your face mask at all public places. Use the electronic payment cards, the Go card, to minimize cash transactions and stay at home where necessary. So, if you exhibit any symptoms, don't head to a hospital. Just call the COVID-19 hotlines and ask for help. They are 055-2222-004 or 055-2222-005. Please, let's observe these simple protocols together to defeat COVID-19. Continue to enjoy quality fuel and services from GOIL. Okay, so here's what's on my Joy997FM this morning. COVID-19, there is cause to suspect that the death numbers are being massaged, and that's according to Occupy Ghana, an interesting article that they have published on myjoyonline.com. Also, Cath Intensive Care Unit to operate at half capacity. Men's Gold customers call for immediate arrest of NAM1. Here we go again. All right, citynewsroom.com has COVID-19. Nurses and doctors at Cath ICU asked to self-quarantine due to exposure. This is what we were afraid of, you know. Accra Mayor can't be blamed for flooding. That's Uku Vanderpoy. And I'll gladly say yes if Mahama asks me to be a running mate. Again, Uku Vanderpoy. CNN International has these. Trump ignores virus reality. And a gang tried to kidnap one of China's richest people. It didn't end well for them. Fascinating story on CNN. Also on BBC Africa, Tanzania. Is it Tanzania or Tanzania?
I don't really know. I pronounce it Tanzania.
Tanzania, so do I. Tanzania shares latest COVID-19 data after freeze. And Diamond Platinums, and Africa's most popular YouTube stars, also a feature on BBC. And by the way, it's been 48 hours since the president told us the update from the 13th of June, and we have seen no further update on the Ghana Health Service website on our numbers. 48 hours, no update. Okay, now we have the opportunity to speak to the boss of the Ghana Blood Bank to find out a bit more about the plans to include in our treatment regime plasma treatment. So Dr. Justina Ansa is on the line. Dr. Ansa, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Kojo, for having me.
It's a pleasure. So this is something that we have heard of in other countries, that they are considering the use of plasma from the blood of recovered COVID-19 patients to treat those who are quite badly ill.
Yes.
First, perhaps you'll explain the science of it to us. How exactly does the plasma of a recovered person help to treat it?
Okay, thank you very much. As a country, we introduced the convalescent plasma therapy in May of this year because countries are adopting it across the world. And in the absence of a vaccine, the next thing to use is the convalescent plasma. It's not a new thing. What a vaccine does is that it stimulates the body to produce antibodies, but the body's own immune system to fight it. But in the case of convalescent plasma, you are introducing antibodies from somebody who has recovered. So what you are providing is a passive immunity. And it is not a new thing. It's been used hundreds of years for measles, diphtheria, before vaccines were found.
What exactly is a passive immunity?
The passive, okay. So patients and those who have recovered from COVID have had robust immune systems, so their bodies produce antibodies which neutralize the virus. So that is why they recovered or they got well. So they have antibodies in their system, and antibodies are proteins that they use to neutralize their antigen. So while those who are recovered have these antibodies which can be collected, and antibodies are found in their plasma. Plasma is the liquid portion of blood. Blood is made of cells and the liquid portion. So this liquid portion, when collected, is antibody-rich plasma. And this, when transfused into patients who are moderately and severely ill, has been found across the world to be of help. I mean, it's reducing mortality in some and also reducing hospital stay.
So why is it called passive immunity?
It is passive in contrast to active, because you are introducing antibodies as opposed to your own body producing the antibody. When your body, a vaccine is introduced, you produce antibodies, so it's active. Right. But when you introduce antibodies from outside through transfusion into the person, you are producing a passive antibodies.
Right.
So that it helps the person to fight or neutralize the antigen that the person has. It's been found to have amazing results in some countries.
In treating COVID-19 in particular?
Yes, in COVID, severe and moderately and severely affected patients with COVID-19.
So what exactly are we calling amazing results? Do we have some figures?
It's because people have been, people who ordinarily would have passed on have been, mortality has reduced, as well as hospital stay has also reduced in patients who had comorbidities and also moderately and severe. So that's why we say amazing, because in the absence of a vaccine, this is what is being used, and it's not a new kind of treatment, but it was used for Ebola and even for other infectious diseases in the absence of a vaccine.
Even the Spanish flu, I believe they
exactly,
used.
And even
so I'm interested in COVID-19 in particular because it is often described as the coronavirus is described as a virus that we are yet to understand fully. So I'm very excited to hear that there seems to be something that works. But what are the numbers? How many people do we know around the world have been treated with plasma and recovered?
Different countries have reported have different numbers. I mean, it's actually experimental treatment, because I can say in Mauritius, in Africa, they have treated about 10 patients. So it's not a large amount, but the literatures give us different figures in different countries. But people are reporting because it's exciting. I mean, people are getting results, so we are reporting on what is happening.
Right.
And so we are also adopting it. In Ghana, we have our national protocol. It's gone through the Food and Drugs Authority. We have the approval. We have sent the budget to the Ministry of Health, and we're waiting for no objection from the World Bank, because it's a new budget that was introduced. It's a new treatment. So we're doing through the process, and as soon as we get the no objection, we purchase the consumer, because we have the plasma pheresis machine at the blood service. So we collect the plasma, and what it does is that the patient is hooked onto the machine. It collects the plasma, it sends the red cells back into the patient, and the plasma is collected into a bag. It's tested, it's processed, and then it's used, to the clinicians will use that to transfuse the patients who have been selected to have that therapy.
Have we already collected the blood of recovered COVID-19 patients?
In Ghana, we have not yet started, but we have gone through the process of approval. We're waiting for the procurement process to buy the bags, and then voila, we are on to collection.
Okay, now the blood donation will have to be voluntary, am I right? Or
yes, we're working with the clinical team, so they have we don't work with patients, but the clinical team will select the patients who have recovered, who are volunteering to give donate their plasma to be used. So that way will be handed the patients to the selection. It's part of the national protocol, and then we would collect and test and process and give it back to the clinicians to transfuse.
Right. At the moment, the numbers are in the single thousands. We're not of those who have recovered. I guess the question on my mind is, every patient, I'm assuming, would have to receive blood of their own type.
Certainly, absolutely. Right. It's all in the protocol. Yes, we make sure, although we make sure that all the things are covered in the protocol. So blood of their own type has been tested and all that. Yeah. So they are receiving antibody-rich plasma from recovered patients.
Okay. Now, Doc, around the world, about 95% of those who get COVID-19 recover anyway. Yes. Their own immune system kicks in and protects them, and they recover.
Yes. Yes.
So how are we sure that 10 odd people in Mauritius who got better and a few others in other countries, how are we sure that it was definitely because of the plasma treatment and not their own immune systems?
Yes, it is not going to be used for people with mild conditions. It's moderately severe and severely affected or with COVID disease. Those with comorbidities, those who are sick. It's been even in ICUs and all that. It's been used for those. So you are introduced the antibodies, which is passive. But for those who are mild, their immune system is robust, and they can. That's why it's important for all of us to boost our immunity, so that when anybody gets it, your body itself fights against it. But for those, unfortunately, whose immune system is not as strong, it's not as robust. So that's why they have moderately and severe diseases. Then you help them by introducing the antibody, which is passive, and it is found to help them because you are helping their immune system to be able to fight the disease, and because antibody neutralizes the infection or the virus that they have.
Right,
so
Doctor,
it is for those who are quite sick.
Right. Dr. Ansa, I really wish we could talk a bit more about this,
Yes.
but it's time for the BBC. Perhaps we can do a bit